Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, I got an email about bypassing the E-unit in a Marx motor. I'm always talking about you find a motor that doesn't work, rather than tearing it apart and trying to replace or repair the E-unit, just bypass it. It's a lot easier. The train will run forward only, but if the E-unit's bad, it's never going to run again anyway. So this is really, really simple to do. We have the E-unit itself. We have two wires coming out of the E-unit going to the main coil. We have one wire coming out of the E-unit and going to the brushes. So what we're going to do is cut all three of these wires and completely disconnect them from the E-unit. So we'll go to the very first one, reach in, I'm just using a pair of nippy cutters. Reach in with a pair of nippy cutters as far in as you can and cut that wire off. There's one. Do the same thing to the other side. Here's the wire going to the brushes. Cut that off. Here's the other coil wire. And we cut that off. Alright, so we have three wires now. Go to the front of the engine. There's the power wire going to the E-unit itself. Cut it. The E-unit is now completely out of the system. If you don't disable that wire, the coil is still energized. This coil draws as much as a light bulb. So you're going to find once you've done this bypass, this engine is going to have a lot more power. So now, I'm trying to do this so you can see it. Take the wire, stick it down through the hole, and pull it back up again. That gives you an anchor point. Pull that wire up nice and straight. So it's anchored there now. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Stick the wire back through the hole. Hard to do this trying to stay out of my own way. Okay, now that one's anchored as well. Now these are the actual coil wires going to the field coil for the motor. So they're coated with varnish. So you take a razor blade, anything, and you just scrape the varnish off of this wire on both of them. This only takes a second to do this bypass. Okay, so we got two bare wires. This is the wire going to the brushes. Measure it, bend it over, as you see, and strip a piece of insulation off like that. See what I'm doing? Take this wire and wrap it around the wire going to the brushes. You do it this way and the motor will run forward. Okay, so we got that wire. Now we need to run a new power wire to this side of the coil. So I have a piece of wire here that's already been stripped, as you see. We lay it across here and we wrap this wire around it, just like that. Okay, take the nippy cutters and cut it off. Boy, these things are getting dull. Really dull. Okay, we'll go over to this side and cut this wire off right there. So now we take this wire, run it up to the headlight, measure our wire and strip a piece off. and we're going to resolder that wire right there. So grab our soldering iron, always have a damp cloth to wipe the tip off. As I said in an earlier video, I really shortened this tip so you can transfer a lot of heat really quickly. So we're going to solder this wire to the headlight socket, and then we solder our connections here and here. Alright, that's it. You've just bypassed the E-unit. So now I have a small transformer. Wire goes to the chassis. Wire goes to the shoe. So the motor now runs. It'll run perfectly. And this will work on any Marx motor. So if you want it to run forward, run power to this side of the coil, run this side of the coil to the brushes. You want it to run backwards, run this side of the coil to the brushes and apply power there. You could put in a double throw, double pull switch and actually have a forward and reverse. But when I do these bypasses, motor runs forward only, which is fine with me. It no longer starts in reverse. It now will run forward, and you're going to find you have about 10% more power available because you're no longer powering this coil. So this is a motor that did not run at all. And as you see, in 5 minutes, it's up and running. And you're going to be surprised at how much better one of these motors will run when you bypass this E-unit. So I just wanted to do a quick video on how to do this bypass. It's really quick, it's really fast, and it really works. So just wanted to do a video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.